Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on another wonderful Monday evening, right? Late July, the dog days of summer are here, right? Dog days of summer. Not because it's hot, right? It's actually because of the star Sirius. Just a little bit of a trivia knowledge, I suppose, right? Why they call it dog days. Dog days of summer is because of the star Sirius. And so welcome once again. I'm Vladimir and I'm the founder of the Blue Lotus Mindfulness and Meditation Center here in Brainerd, Minnesota. And we do these talks, guided meditations and Dharma talks bi-weekly. So every 2 weeks. Some months there's 3, right? Sometimes there's 3 weeks of those, three Dharma talks in a month sometimes. It depends on the month, right? Today is July 26, 2001, and it is a little after 6 p.m. here in the Central Time Zone. And I am so pleased that you are spending some of your precious time with me today on this beautiful July evening. Absolutely is. And I hope it's wonderful where you are as well. And so tonight we're going to be talking about thinking traps and what really stops us from being the best that we can. What holds us back? It's like luggage, right? Try walking through an airport before you go through TSA and all that check-in, right? You got all that luggage. Try. It's not a pleasant experience, right? It doesn't allow us to move freely as we are able to. So we'll start off tonight in our usual format with the guided meditation, and I will be the one to more than happily guide you through this meditation. That's why I'm here, right? To get you through this, right? So you can experience the wonderful joy of mindfulness and connecting with yourself and the world around you. And so we'll be talking about changing our perspectives in this particular guided meditation. And then after that, short little reorientation back to our bodies, back to our senses, and reorientate ourselves back to our surroundings. And then we'll get on with the Dharma talk. So let's begin by taking a moment to settle our bodies into a comfortable position. All right. You may close your eyes, or keep them slightly open with a soft focus, looking downward a few feet in front of you. I will guide you through this, so please go ahead and just relax. Close your eyes and breathe in. And pause. And slowly exhale through your mouth. Go ahead and allow that wonderful half smile to rest upon that beautiful face, that wonderful face. Allow your spine to lift and your shoulders to soften. And soften your belly as you begin to settle in. And breathe in. Pause. Slowly exhale through your mouth. And then with a deep inhale, and pause for a second or two. We'll do this again. And slowly exhale through your mouth. So breathe in. And breathe in. And exhale. Just feel that tension just start to melt away. And recall a time when you felt you were in a no-win situation and you experienced feelings of stress and anxiety of what's to come. Think about all of the negative outcomes you imagine. Could be the end of a relationship, or being late to work and you feared your boss's comments. Maybe you were uncertain about a test, the results, or perhaps it was even a score, like your grade. Now, think about what was the real outcome of the situation. Whatever the outcome, even if what you imagined came true, you are still here, alive, feeling, caring, and wiser about this type of situation. When you encounter a new or different challenge, imagine yourself at the foot of a large mountain. Looking up, you can hardly see the summit. And looking down at your feet, all you see is rock, monotonous colored rock. But you begin to climb. One hand at a time. One foot at a time. Climbing seems to take forever, but you have the perseverance and the persistence to continue going upward. One hand at a time. One foot at a time. As each moment passes, you look around you and you can see off in the distance, behind you, below you, Trees are now smaller. The ground is well below you. But upwards, you continue. Soon, you reach the peak and have a complete, wonderful, panoramic view all around you. You can see the ground from when you started your journey. And you can see unlimitedly in all directions around you. When you see in all directions, you begin to understand that there is more in front of you than a monotonous mountain of rock. There are colors. There are sounds. And there are sights to behold. When you reflect upon a challenging situation, you understand that there is more than one perspective, more than one point of view. You realize this new perspective and you allow yourself to become at ease with this openness. You can breathe in with compassion for others. You can exhale with gratitude for yourself. And for the next few moments, breathe in and out on your own. And slowly, gently, bring yourself back to the present moment with ease and calmness. Begin to open your eyes and to slowly reorientate yourself back to your surroundings as we prepare for tonight's Dharma talk and talk about thinking traps. So why do we oftentimes support others more than we do ourselves. Do we feel that others are more capable than we are? Very often we find it easier to give someone else a compliment or support someone else and say to ourselves, wow, I could never do that. And that's a thinking trap. And so what I would like for you to recall along the Noble Eightfold Path is right thought. And what is right thought? Well, right thought is wholesome thoughts that serve to uplift us. That doesn't mean not to evaluate with honest reflections on our mistakes. That's how we learn. But right thought can mean we search with sincerity so we can improve ourselves and not belittle or put ourselves down. Again, it's important to self-evaluate with honesty, but not to belittle ourselves. Why did I do that? I could never do this. That's not right thought. That's not how we can prosper or serve ourselves with the loving kindness and attention that we have for ourselves. So what are thinking traps? What are some of the common thinking traps that we may have heard of some, we may not have heard of some. I've selected a few, but thinking traps are ways of thinking that hold us back from being truly connected with ourselves and our surroundings. They are the traps that do not promote or foster right thought. And so what I've done is selected 5, I don't know, the most common, and I think are certainly deserving of mention, but there are several others to consider as well. And so the first one is mind reading. You knowing what the other person is thinking. How often do we try to anticipate what someone else is going to say or what they're thinking? Or you don't even ask the question because you judge, you've played out a scenario in your mind of what that other person will say. I surprise my kids all the time with that. They ask me often, Dad, can we do this? Dad, can we do that? Yeah, let's go do it. And then I get that deer in the headlight look. What? Really? Of course. So that was their thinking traps, right? Mind reading, not being certain of what my response would be. So that's a thinking trap. That can hold us back. And so sometimes if maybe we're a little shy or uncertain, we may not even ask the question. So mind reading is probably one of the more prevalent thinking traps out there. Fortune telling is another, right? And it can go along with mind reading, right? There's some overlap in some of these terms. But fortune telling, I already know what's going to happen. I'm not even going to ask. Again, if you don't ask, you're not going to find out the answer. And so don't fortune tell when it comes time to asking what you really want to know. That can really hold you back from your own development, your own progress. Even if you think the answer is going to be the opposite of what you really would like to hear, ask it anyway. Don't assume. Another more common thinking trap is black and white or binary thinking. It's either this or that. It's either my way or the highway. That's not kind. And it is absolutely not a kind way to think of yourself or the others or what is deserving for the other. Because what is happening is you are only considering your feelings. You're only considering the way you feel and not the other person. Life is seldom black and white. And there may just be a little bit of black over here, a little bit of white over here, and the rest is gray. There are so many perspectives to consider. And oftentimes when we have that binary thinking or the black and white thinking, we are only thinking of ourselves. We are not putting ourselves in the position of the person who's asking. And that's where fortune telling comes in, because or mind reading even, because when we don't put ourselves in their positions, we don't know what their situations are. A lot of times people don't tell you what is really going on in their life or what's going on in their minds. So when we just have that binary thinking, that black and white thinking, that can really stop the development and the fostering of healthy relationships. Makes for an uncomfortable situation. Another one is the fallacy of fairness. You think you know what's right for you or what's fair. Not right for you, but just what's right necessarily. And oftentimes if you go through life just assessing what that, if it's fair or not, you often become angry, resentful, and unhappy. Think of just what's going on now. Just in maybe somebody's getting a break. Maybe they've got one of those COVID loans, or maybe they've got some student debt that was relieved, and you feel that, well, I paid my debt. Why can't they? That's not fair. We've heard that saying, life is not fair. But we can't think of everything as what's fair. Let's think about what is equitable. Right? What is equitable for people? And what is equitable for some may not be equitable for you. You may be in a different position. And so when we are angry or resentful and unhappy because we feel that life's not fair, that's a thinking trap. Instead, perhaps approach it with gratitude. This is what I have. And I am so happy that someone else was able to get a break. That's compassion. And gratitude for what you have and compassion for someone else's situation. It's not selfish. I'm sure there were plenty of times in your life where you got something someone else did not. And maybe they had that thought of fallacy, of fairness going through their mind. And then they were angry, resentful, and unhappy as well. So approach with what you have, or approach what you have with gratitude. And if someone else gets a generous break, be grateful for them and have some compassion. And finally, the always being right. Some do go to great lengths to just prove themselves right, and someone else is wrong. And that goes to the binary thinking as well. Black and white. Think about all that time and energy that was spent just to prove someone was right or someone was wrong. Is it important? No. And always being right, that energy and that time, it's taking away from you. It's taking away from your personal development and your growth. And it's a misuse of your time and energy. So these are just 5 common thinking traps that are prevalent. There are, again, there's several more. There's probably about 4 or 5 more, maybe 6 more, somewhere in that neighborhood. And if that's something that you're interested, let me know in the comments. We can talk about, some additional ones as well. But you'll find that when you start recognizing what these thinking traps are and how they prohibit you from growing, how they prohibit you from right thought, you will begin to let them go. It will take time. And the first step is to recognize that was a thinking trap. Let me pause, that necessary, ever important pause. And so we have 2 more live events coming up, live silent retreats. August 29th and September 26th. You can always register for free. All of our silent retreats are always free, and you are more than welcome to come. Bring a friend if you like. I provide vegetarian lunches, right? And so, but all you have to do is just register, come in, show up, bring a friend. You're more than welcome to. We have 2 more for this season, and then we'll begin again in May of 2022. If you do like these videos and the other content that we do promote on our YouTube channel, as well as our webpage, please do like and subscribe to our channel. It's greatly appreciated. And yeah, it's just greatly appreciated from you all. Love spending time and talking to you all. And with that, my friends, see, we're a little bit out of time and a little bit over. I know your time is precious and valuable, and I recognize that. And so with that, my friends, I wish you all a day of peace and ease. And then we will see you again in 2 weeks for our new August theme. Take care, my friends.